I'm joined now by filmmaker Derek Hockemeyer. Derek, thank you for being here. I want to know when you first fell in love with capturing moments on video.
Well, thank you for having me.
Sure.
I appreciate it. Man, filmmaking has always been a part of my life. Even when I was little, I kind of just naturally gravitated towards the camera. I must have been 7 or 8 when I got my first little HD camcorder.
Wow.
And yeah, I just kind of experimented with my neighbors and siblings and whatnot. We would make videos, and that just turned into a love and a passion for the visual arts, I guess.
What was it about seeing the world through that little HD screen that was so exciting to you?
I guess being able to capture the reality that I was living in, but then displaying it in a different way. There was something that kind of broke the fourth wall when you kind of, you're putting something together and then you make a DVD, play it on the screen.
Yeah.
We would make these little movies, me and my neighbors, and just watch them on the TV, and we thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
So
were you writing scripts? Were you just recording what you guys were doing, or what was kind of the gist, or do you not even want to say?
I mean, we would script stuff sometimes, but it's just the nonsense that kids make,
Yes,
you know?
Yeah, for sure. So at what point did you go, okay, I think I love this enough to pursue it?
Probably later in high school. I started getting a little bit better, just like anyone would if they were to practice a skill.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I would just start making videos that people appreciated, and then being able to use my talents to give someone else a spotlight felt like a gift or something.
Yeah.
So, being able to do that middle, late high school, and then throughout college and now, I don't know, it's cool to put people in the spotlight a little bit and get them to share what they care about.
Yeah, so now what you are passionate about is helping people with their brand through video, so which is a kind of a newer concept.
Sure.
So tell me about that.
I mean, everyone kind of has a brand or a message they're trying to sell,
Yeah.
whether you're a musician or you own a business or something like that, a nonprofit. It's essentially all the same work. It's just kind of documentary or sometimes a scripted kind of story.
Yeah.
But it's all just to get someone to share what they're about, being transparent and sometimes glorifying, showing only the best bits.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's all kind of the same thing.
So how hard is it to take a short form kind of video and get all of the best parts? How do you convey what somebody's all about in this little snippet?
Yeah, sometimes it's harder to be short form instead of take 30 minutes to explain something.
Yeah.
I guess it's shoot more than you think you need and then condense it. So
Okay.
sometimes you just when I'm meeting with someone to maybe put a brand film together or something, I'll have them just kind of explain what the business is about, and then my little pea brain kind of picks out oh, this seems important and different. So I don't know, I just kind of regurgitate those things.
Yeah. Now, what is your process? So you do the interview with whomever is, looking to make a film or a short form video. How does it all work? How does it come together?
There's no tried and true method to doing it one certain way. So every single time that I approach a project, it's unique and different. But for some brand films where it is interview style, and then we see maybe B-roll of what they're about, sometimes it's just an unscripted interview, and then that carries, and I discover what I even want to shoot or make it about.
Yeah.
I guess.
So how integral is the client in that process? Do they sit with you during the edit and say, oh no, that's really important? Or does it get to be kind of what you want it to be?
A little bit of both. It's definitely this is true for documentary too. You add your own perspective to whatever it is.
Sure.
So if I have an opinion about a business when I go into it, it's, even if I try to hide it, it's undoubtedly going to come out in the film.
Right. So in addition to the brand videos you do a ton of work. So what are some other projects and facets of your business that are exciting to you?
I guess just always having a camera on me for travel or, just capturing life as it is. I like to work with musicians a lot. Later today, actually, I'm shooting with Los Aptos, this band from Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I don't want to close the door. If it's something that seems interesting and like seems like a new opportunity to discover more about life, then like yeah, I'm interested.
When you see videos that you have produced, can you see your vision? I don't know, I'm not asking that well.
Sure, no,
but
I understand.
Okay.
It's like I want to.
Yeah.
But that's part of like the learning curve and like the creativity curve too.
Yeah.
What you want to make and like the style and all that kind of stuff. The aspiration is the curve comes sooner than like what you're actually capable of, at least in my case.
Yeah.
So sometimes I see like what I want to have happen actually end up on film. A lot of times I like land it somewhere out there,
Yeah.
but at least it's like a step in that direction. So
Okay, so this afternoon you're shooting with Los Aptos. So this is a kind of a great way to talk about your process. How much of the shoot this afternoon do you have planned out? Do you have? I mean, I imagine you're not like storyboarding it. Are you just going to show up and start shooting, or how does that work?
so we met with them like I want to say like 3 weeks ago, something like that. And he gave me like a really pretty clear concept of his vision for the project. And then we found some locations. Just yesterday we went and brought all of the lighting equipment and pre-lit the environment so that when our actor comes in, we're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
We have a shot list. It's not like true storyboarded or anything, but we did like as much pre-production as we possibly could so that there's no questions or like surprises when we go to film later.
So what happens if you meet with a client and they give you their vision and you are like, that is nowhere near my vision, or that's not going to work, because you know as a professional, like, ooh, that's not actually the way it works. How do you find that balance of conveying what they want, but also making it feasible and your artistry?
Yeah, that's also like a learning curve, for sure. You have to have the confidence to know that you know what you're talking about, and that if someone throws something at you and they like are sure that that's going to be the thing that makes their business thrive or something,
Yeah.
you have to be able to be like, okay, I hear you, I received that, but I think this might be the better option.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be rude and you want to accommodate for people, of course, but there's definitely like a middle ground.
Yeah.
So people are usually like really trusting, and sometimes that's kind of scary because I'm like, I'm just figuring this out as I go. Like I barely know what I'm doing.
Yes.
Most of the time. So yeah, people are like, here, give it a shot. Or maybe they give me a chance. So like I want to do the best work that I can with that opportunity, of course. But yeah, I'm like figuring out how to be a person half the time, you know, let alone like a
Aren't we
professional.
all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I respect you saying that so much, because I think, you know, too often people are trying to pretend like they have it all figured out. Knowing that that's kind of your feeling, what made you want to start your own production company, start your own business? How do you have the confidence to do that when you're really just, you know, figuring it out as you go?
Sure, doing it out of fear, honestly.
Yeah.
Just like I have freedom and the ability to really pursue any type of video or film that I want to make.
Yeah.
Being independent. So it's nice being able to be choosy and like selective with who I work with. And I also just wanted to learn a lot of the hard lessons like myself and put myself in the uncomfortable situations so that I could grow faster. So
I was just going to say that's the fastest way to learn, right? So what's next? Do you have another big goal, or are you kind of just working through it day by day, making art?
a little bit of that. I wrapped up filming this honeybee documentary about bees and beekeepers in like Northeast Indiana.
Oh, wow.
So that was fun, but
Yeah.
I want to do more documentary work. So at least every year be producing something that's like 20 to 30 minutes
Yeah.
and interviewing people and learning things that I never would have thought to even dive into through documentary.
Yeah. So do you feel like your sweet spot is going to be in that short form kind of arena, or do you want to do like a feature documentary?
Eventually, yes, I would love to.
Yeah.
But like in the meantime, I think I want to start doing short form like concepts or like if I'm doing a documentary no longer than 20 minutes so that I can try and learn different things.
What is the hardest part about creating, well, anything, whether it be a brand video or a documentary? What is the most difficult facet?
Probably perfectionism or maybe a little bit of like, it's all trial and error. So
Yeah.
you run into different mistakes every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like making like a huge mistake and not liking the entire thing after a little bit,
Yeah.
and then trying to stay motivated to then try to do it better the next time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a problem, but
But so what happens if you get through the process of shooting and producing and you don't like it but you have to finish it? How do you make it through that?
I mean, sometimes it's just like, I just have to pack it up as something I don't like.
Okay.
Or, you know, like, appreciate that it's part of the journey of getting something eventually that I will enjoy, like
Yeah.
watching and appreciating. I feel like to this date, I haven't produced something that I'm like, oh, I love this. So everything I've done so far has just been like a learning experience or trying something.
Do you think you ever will? Or do you think you're one of those people who is always going to be critical of your own work?
Yes, but I think eventually I'll reach a point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I've devoted the amount of time and energy into this, and I love this thing. I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Derek, thank you so much for all the work you do, and thank you especially for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Thanks for having me. It's like, you interview such cool people, so even to be considered, like, to be a part of the show is like an honor. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Arts in Focus on PBS Fort Wayne is funded in part by